What's up everybody, back with a Magnum Quest video, and in this one, I'm going to be going over everything we know so far. I know it's been postponed, but I'm going to go over what to expect and what not to expect. However, they do tend to leave out a lot of details with these teasers. We won't know everything till the update notes are released. We do have a bunch of images that I'm going to go over. Some have meaningful descriptions, some don't, but I honestly don't think any version could have a more negative player base reaction than April's version, so at least everyone has that to look forward to. Let's get it. Kicking it off, we got a new boss, looks like an ogre or a troll preview that we got on May 27th. Now, one thing to note is it says world new boss, and with the April's version, we did get the new world feature seen here. So 1 + 1 equals probably a connection. I'm getting more of an awakened demon boss vibe from this preview, so maybe it will be a new awakened boss. If so, what I would like to see this boss drop is the 2 new gear sets that they did introduce. Which is the Immortality and Doom set. I've went over these before, but just in case, here's the Immortality set seen here. 15% damage, 16% attack speed, and 10% steel. And then the Doom set, it gives 12% minus damage taken, 12% hit ER, and then 15% haste. So as you can see, these stats, these given, the values are pretty insane compared to the other gear sets in the game, or even rune stats, given the nature of difficulty of getting good runes. Currently, the only way to get these 2 new set pieces are by a very small chance from when you sometimes get those 5-star equipment chests from completing the trial. Other ways are probably from events, like with the Attack on Demons event that just finished, you can get the blueprints seen here. Also, if this is a new awakened demon, I really hope they introduce the multi-demon dispatch in this version, or update, whatever you want to call it, because you can see here there's room for 3 total. This would address one of the issues with the forging system. Don't think this is the only one. There's plenty of those to go around. What I'm worried about though is with the multi-demon dispatch, if you choose to do so, will it significantly reduce your idle resource gain? Meaning, will it average all 3 out? I hope this isn't the case, because without Drums of Fury to boost your idle resource gain, it's really terrible. I'm sure by now many are experiencing this. You can idle Ash on level 10, the max for example, for 13 hours with no Drums of Fury and get like 4 runes, all silver. So it's a huge waste. Or idle Dumb Tier level 15, which is the best bang for your buck. In my opinion, so far it's the best one to get resources. You can idle that for like 13 hours and only get like 1 or 2 blueprints with no Drums of Fury. So drums do make a big difference, and they really need to increase their availability as soon as possible. Ideally with this new version, and not make them only purchasable with money. Adding to the shop for gold or shards is fine with me at this point, because currently it's only the silver drums there, and they are weekly capped at 4 buys. Moving over to the next boss, it looks like a griffin, and this preview was on June 10th, another world boss. Now, because this also seems to have that world feature connection, and because I feel the previous one is just for another awakened demon, I hope this one is like how the holiday bosses went, such as Prince Pumpkin for Halloween or Fake Santa Claus for Christmas. So how those worked is you are put into a bracket, challenging others for leaderboard position for the highest damage done. Every day you would get some rewards based off the players in your bracket achievements done. I really hope it's not something that's server locked. They seem to be going this route with how you cannot guild recruit cross servers anymore, meaning all the players that start the game on servers after April's version cannot join any guilds that were made before this, or how Scramble for Resources is, the areas available are based off your server's activity for completing the world feature. The reason is servers die, players quit. Looking at my server, I forgot to record some footage, but I'm on server 2. Attack of the Demons event that just finished recently, it only had like a few participants. I think after like all the days done, I think each boss only had like 8 or 9 players on my entire server who attempted to even beat it. This means any future server related events, because I'm on a dead server, I'm going to be at a huge disadvantage, or anyone else on a dead server. So hopefully this boss is either on some form of timer, whether it's triggered by a collective amount of players doing something, hopefully not server related and more so placed in a bracket. This bracket could either take players from different servers or simply just group up servers, say maybe server 1 to 50 or 1 to 100, etc. Or maybe it simply just pops up in the game for a set time period, kind of like how that roving trader shop does. As for what it may drop, I'm 100% hoping for Drums of Fury. At this point, that's all I'm looking for. I would like to see more ways to get XP, but that's very doubtful. Everyone has been asking for this for many months, probably over a year by now. They didn't think the forging resource availability through at all, because once you use up all those bronze Drums of Fury from that world feature, you can't get them anywhere else in the game right now. Maybe from codes, maybe from certain events, but those haven't been coming around often recently. As for silver drums, you only get 2 days worth from the deluxe shop, as mentioned with the weekly cap. In gold drums, literally you can't get these anywhere unless you use money on the weekly merchant offers. So yeah, like I said earlier, drums make a big difference and they are very much needed. Otherwise, this whole blueprint forging process will continue to be ridiculous, especially if Flames of Truth continue to be just as scarce as the Drums of Fury. But on a positive note, I'm definitely excited for these 2 new bosses, but I'm really hoping they listen to the feedback and there's some big changes to the forge system that haven't been mentioned yet that can be applied to these 2 new world bosses. Then on June 11th, we got an image which looks to show more of what's in store for this version update, as well as a very broad description. As it says in the text, a new hero, new game modes, and world exploration, which further makes me feel like at least one of those preview bosses are another awakened demon, a new guild event, so this could be more guild versus guild content since Scramble for Resources was a big letdown, more time limited events, and then features. As usual, a lot has been left out. Might get more info closer to the release because it was delayed, but based off this, I'm interested to see what happens. Bringing up the image here, I wasn't exactly sure why they're showing arcane cards, but my guess is that we're going to be getting new ones. They're going to be introduced because each hero and their hero skin have their own card so far, but all of the new heroes don't. So I'm thinking we're going to see a Shale card, a Ryan card, Panda card, probably a Fair Skin and a Hista Skin card, etc. I'm okay with this, but I do hope they continue to make changes to the current card values because many cards are very useless. And some are just like broken beyond measure. Also, after the April version, Arcane Dust has been nerfed in terms of how much you can accumulate per week, so I'm hoping some of the new features or time limited events mentioned feature ways to get more. As for the new hero, there does seem to be a shadow figure, so I was thinking this was going to be a new hero. A lot of my guesses have been answered in the upcoming posts that I'm going to be going over. And then the next post on June 13th, more info regarding the new Guild vs. Guild event. Okay, so here we go. This is what it's all about. I'm so scared after the hype up for the recent Guild vs. Guild, the scramble for resources that I've mentioned already, and how quickly everyone saw it. It was just a reskin of Puppet Cores with less rewards for the guild and player, with a minor barrel gain, but only if you're among the top 3 defending guilds in that area. So scrolling down for the rewards preview, you got Dragon Shards, Blueprints, which are going to be essential for forging gear pieces, thank goodness, and then guild badges. So this looks to be another schedule style as a scramble for resources, meaning application phase, challenge phase, etc. And that works for me because I enjoy this game. And let's be real, the challenge phase for Scramble for Resources takes less than 5 minutes with quick battle, and still you have many players in a guild who don't even do that. So this is going to be a little bit interesting here. It does say the challenge phase starts on Wednesday, ends on Thursday, so the devs are giving us more to do, and I'm happy for that, especially because this is guild related. This part though is very interesting to me. The Elite Force, you can assign up to 5 members to be part of this, and what this does is those selected players can earn extra rewards. Now I'm not seeing anywhere if this is in terms of more points, but this looks to be actual rewards. However, if they are defeated, the opposing player gains triple the points. This is going to be very fun for those PvP enthusiasts, as strategy is going to be huge here, making the best defense setups, making attack setups for specific defense setups, etc. And since it's plural, it's most likely going to require 3 lineups like everywhere else. This is going to be pretty scary for me because I'm horrendous in PvP. I have tried to learn the system these last couple of weeks and I just don't get it. Lots of factors can make you lose in a second, so my guild already knows this. Don't even bother making me part of this elite force. I spent a lot on this game, but I'm just a hero collector. I'm a gacha crazy man. I like PvE. PvP is a whole other breed of animal that I just don't understand. And then for matchmaking, the system will calculate the sum of the ratings of the best lineups used by each of them in their campaign battles and match the guild with another that's of similar strength to compete with. So I'm a little bit confused by this. Why would they need to take the sum of the ratings for campaign battles when there's literally an application phase before this where you're required to set 3 defense lineups? Anyways, why wouldn't it just take the sum of your application defense lineups? I don't really understand this because campaign battles, not everyone is in Act 2. Act 1 is just 1 setup, Act 2 is 2 setups, and then it turns into 3 setups. So couldn't you just like easily cheese this system if you wanted to? If it is a text error and actually takes your application phase defense setups, couldn't you just set 1 hero in each lineup to make your sum small? Or if it does for whatever reason take your campaign battles, just attack the stage you're on with minimum combat power so it then saves that into the system as your most recent battle. Wouldn't this cheese the matchmaking system, because then you'll be paired up with a low strength guild who didn't cheese? And then it says here, defense lineups, all contestants may alter their defense lineups at any time. You just simply change your defense to your best ones and now you're going to be insanely stronger than the other guild whom is going to just get spanked. So yeah, I'm not really exactly sure about this whole matchmaking, but we're going to see. The neat thing though is that all players get 3 challenge attempts and you get points regardless. 3 for a win, losing gets 1, or you get triple the points if you beat a player classified as part of the elite force. So I'm assuming that's going to be 9 points since 3 is for a win. I am happy though, this is actually a guild versus guild game mode and not like simply guild versus environment like Scramble for Resources is. The guild members are actually squaring off against players of another guild. And then finally, the new hero was announced June 14th. I won't go into the skills, I'll save for a separate video after I use as a trial hero. But a new Abyss hero, we just got Ryan, so back-to-back Abyss heroes. I mean, listen, this is a gacha game. I know there's going to be plenty of heroes, but damn. If they're going to be doing this, pumping out a lot of these rare heroes, I would really like to see an Abyss Divinity dungeon now that we have a lot of heroes to work with. We got Kados, Ryan, and now the Elder that's going to be coming out soon. We got Sir, Revna, Panda. It would be nice to add that dungeon so I can get rewards again, since gaining floors now is just like all up to RNG or just literally just getting so much squad levels over the enemies. That's the only way to do it. I simply do not want to retry a floor 1,000 times hoping everything works out, the stars align. To me, that's just not fun, so I just try a couple attempts a day. Eventually, when we have 5 heroes from Divinity and 5 from Abyss, they could even go a step further and separate the dungeon. So it could be like Forest, Fortress, Wild, Shadow, Divinity, and then Abyss. To me, that's easy content and adds more variety with what you can work towards. The other thing I'd like to say is I hope they implement a friends, guildmates, hired mercenary feature. So every week you can say have 3 hired mercs from the hero options available based off your friends or guildmates with whomever they chose to put as their merc to help you with the dungeon floor you're stuck on or a chapter stage, etc. I think that's much needed and allows for more player engagement. But anyways, the Elder, the Demon Prophet, is a magic DPSer. Looks like this at least, and has a little creature imp beside him. The art style looks awesome as usual, and oh my god, that's a strong beard to be able to hold up all those skulls. That's gotta get irritating. His skills are definitely unique. I'm going to go over them when I use him as a trial hero, but based off my first read, he seems like he's only going to fit into a very specific setup. Just remember, not every hero is a must-have. There's many heroes in this game I would say you can just easily skip. So yes, back-to-back Abyss heroes is demanding, but Ryan isn't a must-have. He is part of the endgame boss meta right now, but you can do very well without him, and we shall see if this is the same with the Elder. And then I almost forgot the Dwarven Mine event. First thing it says is event rewards Revna and Ryan. I mean, let's go. It has taken them since the beginning of time to finally change up the rare faction heroes you could possibly get from an event. It's always been Sir and Kados. Sir and Kados were the first two introduced into this game. Like, hello game, hello developers, we will now have 4 other heroes. Let's change this up, and so they finally have. Now I have no idea if this is going to be even possible to get a copy of one of them without spending, but just the fact that they changed this up is astonishing to me. I've played other idle games with a similar event, and basically how I think this is going to work is you get your pickaxes from daily rewards like most events do. You can obviously buy more for money, and then you're going to smash a tile on the board. There will be a portal hidden somewhere, and if you uncover that portal, you can move on to the next stage or choose to keep smashing tiles for the lower tier rewards, but most likely it's going to be always beneficial to go to the next portal so you can use up the least amount of pickaxes, because the better rewards are most likely going to going to be in multiples of 10, so stage 10 can probably choose between Ares, Wyndon, Cinia, Phi, or other goodies, and then Revna, Ryan, the rare heroes will probably be on like stage 20 or something. That's how I think it's gonna go, but I could be wrong. I'm just happy for something different, period. Fingers crossed this is a positive version, but let's be real, everyone. I don't think it could get any worse than the previous one. This new guild event they mentioned hopefully turns out to be good, because guilds have had it rough lately with all the player base drop off, and I would like to see some excitement for involvement. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts of what they've shown so far, and what else you hope they bring in this June 21st, but now it's delayed to June 28th new version. As always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.